Zimbabwe. It promises to be a magnificent encounter that we have on the cards. We had a nail-biting finish in the first game, one that featured between Namibia and Tanzania. But in this one in particular, it shall be Zimbabwe, the Lady Chevrons, taking on Kenya. And it's a magnificent afternoon that we welcome you here from wherever you're watching this encounter on, be it in the subcontinent on Fan Code or around the globe through Sports Eye. We welcome you here. And I would like to welcome a voice in the commentary box that will be partnering me in the proceeding of things. It will be Innocent Ndaula. It's a good afternoon, Innocent.
Good afternoon, Eli, the master, Eli. Man on the move. Happy to be within the comms box for this one against your countrymates. Up in the fray with my neighbors. Kenya had a spring in their step yesterday. They beat up on somebody, a victory no one gave them in the beginning. But they turned the tables on Rwanda. It sounds a bit weird for anybody to hear that Rwanda were favorites against Kenya, but that's the truth of the matter. And that's how women's cricket has evolved. Rwanda beaten. Kenya, here they come. Lavenda Alavisa Idambo with the new ball. Work to be done. Kenya, they won the toss. They asked the big questions. They said, we want to have a ball. And they are the big girls. Them show us what they can do. Alvisa knows a thing or two about swinging the new ball. Full of energy. Cut up and above. Didn't know so much about that Modesta Mpachikwa, but she gets off the mark. One run. Scoreboard ticks.
Modesta Mpachikwa gets off the mark. He's got a strike rate of 85 in women's international cricket. Partnered today by Sean Mayers, seasoned international as well. Strike rate of 100 with 450s under her belt in T20 internationals. Up and over. The power of Sean Myers comes into play early on. She picks up a boundary of the first delivery that she faces.
Sean Myers out in the wilderness for some time. Maybe you tell her story to the people listening, but has had a lot of her voice in the comms box down in South Africa. But she makes a return to the Lady Chevron setup, and she's given the responsibility to get innings started.
Well, that's a beautiful stroke. It was within her arc and powerful hitter through the offside, Sean Myers. And that will be called a wide. Well, you do raise an interesting point about Sean. Sean was out of the squad due to injury. She had an operation late last year around November. So around November into December, she was out of the squad pretty much of injury. Only came back towards the latter ends of Zimbabwe's tour with Ireland, when Ireland visited Zimbabwe. Pretty good hitter of the ball. Highest of 71 that she has in her career at the moment. This is the format that suits her. This is the format that she likes the most. Or besides being in the commentary box. But batting is a prowess, and she'll be hoping for a good start today. Straight up. Just pick up a single. It'll be interesting to see how Zimbabwe build their innings today. They have been chasing for the first 2 games that they have played so far in this tournament, and the 3rd edition of the African Games, the first edition that we see the discipline of cricket being included in the number of sports that are participating in Accra, Ghana. And that one just climbing up on Modest Tampachiko near to mark the end of the first over. Zimbabwe 7 for no loss. Melvin Kagoisa being brought into the attack from the Accra Zoo end. So an element of pace on one end and spin on the other from the Kenyan bowling attack. Quicker, nearly catching Sean off guard there, keeping a tad bit low for her.
Big appeal. Nothing given. Shen Myers covers all the 3 stumps right in front of her, hardly giving the bowler anything to look at or to work with. So anything that hits the pads, you'd feel for the bowlers, they will have to appeal because they don't know what's happening right behind Shen Myers.
Sean does love to use her feet. That will be taken again there. Bowler just failing in there, run up a bit. Punched on the ground for a single. Modest Tampachiko now on strike. Zimbabwe's anchor at the top there. Not a big hit of the ball, but ones who has the task of building up an innings, taking singles here and there. You can keep the scoreboard ticking, but if given the opportunity, she can score quickly. Strike rate of 85. Now she has best of 75. That's good running. That marks the end of the 2nd over. Only 2 runs off it. 9 for 2. 9 for no loss after 2. Let's work through the covers by Modest Tampachiko. Will it have enough to go to the boundary? You betcha. The first boundary of this game, the first boundary of this innings. Given a bit of width on the offside, and she pounces on it and pierces that gap beautifully, Modest Tampachiko. Marianne was on in the last match. She was not impressed with how they went about their business earlier on within the power play. And they said they will look to work on that in this particular game going forward. A little bit of aggression that we shall see or expect in this game. Strike rotation. Hit beautifully through the onside. And this will be boundary number 2 for Modesta. An excellent time of the ball, I tell you.
That's the delivery there from Lavenda Alavisa Idambo. Overcompensating, trying to go for yoke length. She misfires with the lines and the lengths. And then she's tickled round the corners for full boundary there on the onside.
Just missing out Modesta. Well, she'll feel on that occasion. But so far it's been a good over for Zimbabwe. 2 boundaries off it, with only 3 deliveries into it. If you give them an opportunity to score quickly and score big, I tell you, they will gladly accept the invitation. Better play, better ball, back of a length, reduction in pace from Lavender.
She was very dangerous with the new ball last September in Botswana during the Division 2 qualifiers. Again, half-hearted effort from the fielder at the short mid-wicket. Somebody's got to do the running around to collect. And well, it is Melvin Kagoisa, the vice captain, that has got to help Veronica Abuga.
This is a vital passage of play that you need to get things under control within the 6 overs, where you have limited fielding options, especially outside the 30-yard circle. So Kenya need to be pretty much on their toes, try to restrict Zimbabwe as much as possible.
Cut very hard. That is cut with precision. It will be a boundary. Another, make it 3 in the over.
A sublime shot by Modesta, given width, and gladly accepts the invitation. Cuts beautifully for 4. The fielder can only retrieve it from the boundary. Magnificent 4. End of the 3rd over. It's 23 for no loss.
There's been talk, and little chats from you talking about how Marianne Musonda wasn't overly pleased with the way they've been chasing down totals, but sometimes you've got to be clinical, get the job done. You don't want to chase down 70 and then find yourself losing. If the bowling is good, give it some respect. Good drive. She goes down on one knee this time around. Abuga.
Well, definitely that is key. As much as you try to be clinical, when there's no need to play unnecessary shots, you need to do that. In Zimbabwe's efforts in their chase of 72, they lost quite a number of wickets for late runs, chasing 72, something they feel that they should have done with 10 wickets in hand.
Going for an expanse square drive. Connects nothing. Melvin Kagoisa just keeping it further on the offside. Invisible off stump. The 4th stump. Continuing to do well. It has been Lavenda Idambo Alavisa that has licked the runs here in the power play. Melvin doing well. Again, doing everything within her reach to cut it off. An over that has gone with for 4 dot balls right about now. Touch and go. Yes, Modesta is interested. She's jet healed, and she'll run for dear life and make it home safe.
Well, quick in between the wickets is Modesta. That's her job. That's a mandate. It fits her stature. A player that is always on her toes, ready to take those runs, especially if the ball is placed in vacant areas.
He's giving it a full face, trying to gauge the line and length of the little shuffle, but she keeps it out. End of the fourth, 24 without loss.
Now we are changing bowling. It'll be Jemima Ndanusila being brought into the attack after Lavender was quite expensive in a last over, conceding 3 boundaries, courtesy to some good striking from Modesta Mpachikwa.
Beautiful from Shane Myers. She gets a boundary. Intention was clear from her. She was going for it from the go. She welcomes Jemima Ndanusila into the attack, says, hello, good afternoon. I have been here longer than you have been in action.
Well, that's good play from Sean Myers, taking the charge onto Sila earlier on. Starts off the over with a boundary. This is pressure on the bowler. You've already conceded 4 runs on your first ball. Now the honor's upon you, how you navigate yourself. What do you do?
She goes again, going downtown. There is protection this time round. The pickup is good. The throw is equally good from Vanessa Adiambo Owoko. She's taking the charge to the bowlers, and they're bowling not very poor deliveries, but she's decided, says, I'll go for it. The captain wants us to strike it at a good rate early on, and we'll do exactly that. Jemima just coming into the side after playing 2 games back in 2022. She's coming back into the side in 2024. You see her stats, and she's playing only her 5th T20I for Kenya. She's been bowling very well in this particular tournament. 3 wickets to her name already. She gives her wides. Bowling on both ends of the wicket will reap you nothing but fate. Sometimes you win the toss, you are asked to have a bat. Full toss. I beg your pardon, not a full toss, but a half volley that is creamed straight to the side screen. Runs are flowing early on here for Zimbabwe. It's a wicket made in Bulawayo or Harare, whichever way you look at it. That is Jemima Ndanu, hit back past her. She could have stuck her hand out there and picked up a catch from nothing, but it's 4 runs instead. This time around, just a little dab through the offside. There's a protection down in the covers. The Kenyans are looking for protection everywhere. They can't have as much because only 2 fielders are allowed out of the arc before 6 overs are played. Sean Myers' time now. She's been dealing in a full-blooded drives. She gets another. The wrist protection down, Vanessa Adiambo. It's a big over for Jemima Silandano, who's been doing the heavy lifting for Kenya whenever she's coming to ball. 12 from it. It's the end of the fifth. 36 without loss for Zimbabwe. There will be a change in the bowling for the Kenyans. They believe they've seen enough of everybody else. And the captain says, I will hold the bull by its horns. I'll introduce myself into the attack. It is the 25-year-old Esther Wangare Wachira. To slow things down. Big swing going for glory there. Shen Myers without giving the bowler a chance to see what she's doing.
Well, Sean is looking to be on the charge, giving herself room on the leg side, if you see in that replay. So what she's done, everybody that has been introduced fairly new into the attack, she attacks them on the first ball, picks up a boundary that puts the pressure on the bowling unit. That one just falling short of Esther Wachira. Good fielding effort for on bowling. Zimbabwe have been on the charge, going at over 6 runs and over. That will be a wide down the leg side. So it's been a good passage of play for Zimbabwe in these, and the power play rather.
They'll be running very hard. Modesta will be asking Shane if she can come back for 2, but no ways. Not even looking back to see if there is any signal from Shane's intentions to come back for a second. Better lines, taking the pace off the ball is what Esther is doing very well and very nicely. Modesta and Pachikwa extended arms to reach into the covers.
Well, a missed opportunity for stumping there. The wicket keeper just fumbling that one. And she collected that one on the first go. I'll tell you what, Modesta and Pachikwa would be walking back to the changing room. She has a second bite of the cherry, a second opportunity to give Zimbabwe the start that they wanted, but that's better from Esther.
Mixing up the pace well, sees her dancing down the wicket, says, well, there is no music to be played. And Tiara Mutoni, a guilty party there. And that is a very beautiful overboard by the skipper, going for just 2 runs. It's the end of the power play. 6 done, 38 without loss.
Just having a look at the highlights, some of the magnificent shots have been played by the Zimbabwean batters. Modesta Pachikwa has got off to a flying start, has been piercing the boundary from all corners, I tell you. She has been playing some scintillating shots, magnificent cut shots. That will make any betting coach proud. Sean Myers also has been launching a few of them up and over, if given the opportunity. So, of both teams, with the power play done, Zimbabwe will be the happier of the two. And there have been opportunities, or half chances rather, of wickets, but not fully taken.
Jemima back from the golf club end, hit straight down to long off. Kenyans allowed more protection now. See how they go about their tactics. It's a game of tactics. It's a thinking game. You've got to put on your thinking cap every time you come out to play cricket. And the beauty about 2020 cricket, the team that dares to dream differently always does cross the finish line with victory. One overlaps, two overlapses, you snooze, you lose. Umpire standing out there in the middle, two East Africans, Adil Kasam, Tanzania. As they don't get any run there, Adil Kasam standing at square leg right about now. As the Ugandan Patrick Makumbi Musoke standing on the other end. Two East Africans, as another East African in Kenya takes on a Southern African nation in Zimbabwe. Touch and go. There won't be any runs. They won't be taking on the skipper. She's not just a skipper in name, she's a skipper in ability. Jemima Silandano found wanting on the day. She's done very many incisive spells previously. Looks like she's bowling some in-swingers there. That's why sometimes when they stray away, they continue to go further wide. Played better from Modesta Mpachikwa, who clips that one off her hips. Little news coming through from Chimota B. Rwanda won the toss, elected to have a ball against Uganda. The two teams playing unchanged sides from the teams that lost their last encounters. The coach is sticking with the tried and tested. I don't think Eli would love to have ever been a coach in your career at this level. It's a lot of pressure, a lot of headache, migraines. We'll get back to that talk, but it is the end of 7 now, 42 without loss. Esther Wachira continues. Sean Myers, on this time occasion, looking to cut it. Failing to make contact with the ball. So with the power play down, Zimbabwe 42 on the cards. They've done well, pretty much better from their previous game where they were 20 after 6. But I guess that the cards, or what's at stake, is a little bit different. They're the ones that are setting the score. Unlike the other occasions, they were the ones that were setting. They were chasing, rather. Power through the covers. Sean Myers given with. And this one, it'll keep the fielder interested, but she finds a magnificent boundary.
A little bit of width on offer, and she obliges with the power drive through the covers. 4 runs. Well, end of the power play. Ijeoma joins me in the commentary box. Good afternoon, Ijeoma.
Good afternoon, Eli. Great to be here. It's the final group games. It is Group B. Zimbabwe taking on Kenya. Earlier we saw the first game, Nigeria qualifying. Thanks to that win over Namibia, with Tanzania picking that win. But of course it is the net run rate that was a deciding factor and helps Nigeria qualify, making history really to the semi-finals of the AFCON 20 of the African Games in Ghana.
Well, congratulations to Nigeria sealing their spot. End of the over. It will be after 8 overs. Zimbabwe 47 for no loss. I bet everybody from Nigeria will be happy in their camp. They've played so well in this tournament. They pretty look much a fired up side. Shouts of LBW. Umpire not interested at all. Well, the shouts coming largely from players on the square side. That would have missed leg stump from the replay. So I guess pretty much for Nigeria, it's now waiting to see who they play in the semi-final. Who do you think they would pick of the two?
Yeah, of course, it is Zimbabwe, who's top of Group B, and Nigeria, who finished second place in Group A, will face the team who finished top in Group B. Zimbabwe, Kenya, Rwanda, and Uganda. Of course, Zimbabwe are top of the group, and bookmakers always would take Zimbabwe picking this win against Kenya, but the group rather is still quite open, because over there we have Rwanda taking on Uganda, and Rwanda is yet to be without a point, Uganda with 1 point, and Kenya with 1 point. So it is Nigeria taking on the top team in Group B, and at this point it looks too early to call. Not too early to call, but Zimbabwe looks to be the team Nigeria is likely to face.
True that. Worked away leg side, but to no avail. So Zimbabwe pretty much certain that they will finish at the top of things. So pretty much the battle is for seeing who finishes second. It could be either Uganda, it could be Kenya. If things go their way. But I tell you, it's been a magnificent tournament so far. Great cricket that we've seen all round. Punched by Modestin Pachikwa, who has been leading the charge in 23 of 24. Nalshan not so far behind, 22 of 28. Run rate just about the 6 mark there. Bit short. Pick up a single. Sean was really eyeing to pull that one away, but not given enough room to free her arms. You've seen the growth of women's cricket, Ijeoma, and you were there in Uganda and you're now here in Ghana. Any changes you've seen in the way the teams have been playing?
Absolutely, like we've seen so far. For me, I would say the gap is really closing up. We saw Nigeria take on a test playing country like.
We'll get back to that. 9th over done. 52 for no loss.
So earlier I was saying we've seen Nigeria take on South Africa. Put up, although they struggled, with the runs on board, but they were able. They tried to see if they can defend that, picking up 6 wickets against South Africa. I think so far it's been good. All we just expect is that the associated countries continues to improve, get more playing time. We're in Ghana here. The Ghanaian women's team are not participating in this tournament, but we hope that this tournament, rubs off on them greatly, that at the end,
definitely the women's cricket on the African continent continues to grow in leaps and bounds. Esther Wachira, the captain, will give herself a 3rd over. She's done well so far. Has only conceded 8 runs, but all important. They're still looking for that elusive first breakthrough. Up and over, extra cover. Sean Myers powers herself to another boundary. Pitched short by Esther, and Sean Myers gave herself room on the leg side. Went over the covers with ease. 4 runs. She still will maintain the same field. He's got a sweeper on the boundary. Good strike rotation. An easy single done. A little bit of thinking for Esther Wachira in how she will find that wicket that she needs. The interesting thing about cricket is that if you pick up one wicket, you never know, it might give you another. Work leg side by Modesta. Deft touch. And she will sprint for the first. But good work by the fielder at short, fine leg. Just keeps it 2-1. Who else has impressed you in this tournament? I'm sure you'll get back to that point after this over. I would love to hear from you. We know Nigeria have done well, but apart from them, who else has been impressive in how they have played in the tournament? You've been taking notes. That'll be wide. Esther not impressed with the wicket keeper there in dropping that, because there could have been an edge on that one. Whatever. And then there's no bat or contact. Desperate for a wicket, but to no avail. Halfway through, 10 overs done, 60 for non-loss for Zimbabwe, as the teams will go on a dinks break. In the meantime, Jomo will tell us who's impressed so far.
Eli, for me, aside Nigeria, it is, I'll take Rwanda rather. Of course, Nigeria and Rwanda are the least ranked team in this tournament. But seeing Rwanda take on Zimbabwe in the very first game of this tournament, we saw how far they were able to push the game down the wire. That game then was actually nail-biting as well. And then we also saw Rwanda take on Kenya. I'm really, really impressed with that side. Although they lost both games, but I can imagine that they're going to pull up a big fight against Uganda at the other ground, the Achimota over big ground. So for me, I would say the associate countries have been doing so well. It is more game time for all of them, and for me, I would say there's really talent, in women's cricket. The coaches, the grassroots pathways or structures has been great. We see Nigeria, we have lots of young under 17, under 19 players in this squad who are making history here in Ghana. I think that in the next 5 years, you know, countries like Nigeria, Rwanda, it will really be very difficult to be able to get to, you know, into them.
Well, definitely it will be something to look forward to, the growth in women's cricket. One thing that really helps or aids the effort to see the game grow is the youth that you have playing the game. A lot of youngsters play, a lot of players between the ages of 16 and 25, so they still have a long way to go in playing the game, so that works very, very well into their favor in growing in the knowledge of the game. Just having a chat with the Tanzanian team manager. According to their stats, they have about 38,000 players who play cricket in Tanzania at junior level. So that leaves them with a wide pool of selection, or rather a good base to start in terms of coaching the game. But back to this game in particular, it's halfway through the innings. Zimbabwe 60 for no loss after 10 overs with Shane Mary Myers, rather, almost saying Mary Msunda. They do put share name on 28 of 33, strike rate of 84. Modesta Mpachikwa 26 of 27, strike rate of 96. Going at 6 and over at the moment. And they'll be happy with this, not having lost a wicket after 10 overs. So that means that you will see a little bit more of an attacking mindset, or rather they will be targeting the 150 mark, 160, because at the moment if they continue like this they'll be looking at 120. But I tell you, they'll look for about 150 if they continue on in the same manner. Punched. Jemima Masila will continue proceedings from the soccer pitch end after a drinks break.
Good rotation of strikes for the Zimbabwe batters at the crease.
It's important, if you are not able to pick up boundaries, you need to rotate strike as much as possible, because those singles, if you pick 5 and then get a boundary, you end up with about 9 or 10 runs in the over. Powered by Sean. Opportunity for Esther to pick it up, but only gets a few fingertips to it. They'll push for 2. Half a chance given there. Had she really launched herself, Esther, she could have had an opportunity to catch that one. Just brushing her fingertips. Apologizes to the bowler for that tame effort. And that'll be signaled as a wide. Charity Tony, the wicket keeper, she's just standing a little bit halfway. She's caught in two minds whether to stand up when Sean is batting or have a full length, because Sean is using her feet to charge at the bowlers. That'll be wide, and everybody will miss it. The wicket keeper, and they will get a couple. And that'll be signaled as wide.
Like talking about that attempt from Esther Wachira. They say in cricket, catches win matches. We saw in the first game, Esther Sandy of Nigeria alongside Shengase, captain of South African team, made good dive to the ball, got good catches for the side.
It's worked square. Not just for a single. Kagoitsa will collect with ease. Well, definitely that's the thing. You give yourself a chance in the catches. Sometimes just that extra inch to dive can get you there. No, not losing the ball. In terms of the sight, you keep your eye on the ball. You always have to take what little chances that you have just to give your team that little bit of chance in taking that wicket. Up and over. Be a single. You can hear the shouts from the Zimbabwean dugout. They're saying, keep going, guys. You're doing well. You're doing well. No pressure. You're doing well. Well, they've done well so far. 7 runs off this over. You see, it's been largely been in singles, but already they have 7. If you count the extras that have been conceded, and there are 2 more deliveries to go. Banged away over extra cover. I'll do well to retrieve it and keep it to 1. Sean was looking for the second one, but Modesta not interested. It's always pretty important to hear the call from your partner when you're running in between wickets.
Like the previous game, Kenya, Uganda. We saw the Kenyan side. We were able to see the bowling strength of the Kenyan side against that Ugandan team. But that brings us to the end of the 11th over. It is 71 for no loss. Eli, I was talking about the Kenyan bowling strength against Uganda. It was quite, it was really brilliant. But this time around, it seems they are struggling to find their rhythm. 71 already on board for no loss.
Well, it's always a difficult place to be where you are not picking up wickets but conceding runs. But the least you can do is throw around the ball, give different bowlers a chance, like you're seeing now. Esther Wachira looking to Messi Sifuna. No, it's rather Flavia Odiambo. Hoping that probably she could provide an all-important breakthrough that they need. The thing is that Zimbabwe have been pretty ruthless in how they've gone about their business. They are attacking the Kenyan bowlers earlier on as they are still looking to find their lines and length. And that pretty messes up their strategy. Great use of the feet by Modesta to get to the pitch of that one. So that's the tricky part. And how quickly you get into your stride as a bowler works well in your favor. Game and match awareness in how Zimbabwe is going about their business also. So if I was in Esther's shoes, I would rather just maybe take the pace off the ball, have somebody who can bowl slowly earlier on, and hope Zimbabwe comes out attacking. Well, good adjustment by Sean Myers, and she was looking to charge at that one, but because of an adjustment in length by Odiambo, she had to adjust the shot that she played.
Good running between the wickets. Those two at the crease, Modesta and Sean Mary.
Another key thing is just the body language. The Kenyans are quiet. They're not encouraging each other. That plays on their mind. It means Zimbabwe is winning psychologically. They need to get talking. They need to encourage each other. And they're not doing that. And so it's you can actually hear a pin drop. Up and over. Goes big, Sean Myers. And it'll sail over the fielder who can just watch it. And that's a brilliant strike from Sean Myers. It was put within an arc, gave herself room on the leg side and went over long on with ease over the advertising boards for a maximum. Sean Myers, well, should be her second six of this encounter. As you can see, leaves the over at 9 conceded. They picked up first 3 singles, and that opportunity of a boundary that they took advantage of leaves them in a very good position. The over can be closed already. They'll be happy of the two sides. Goes for another big one, and there'll be a simple catch taken. That'll be collected by Messi Sifuna. Sean Myers getting a little bit too excited after that huge boundary that she got. Skies one straight up in the sky, and will give Kenya that all-important breakthrough that they were looking for. Zimbabwe will be 80 for 1. Sean Myers gone for 39. Looking to pierce the offside. Thick outside edge, straight up in the air, and a great running catch by Mercy Ohono Sifuna.
Great relief for the Kenyan side. Been able to break this partnership. It is 80-run partnership. Sean and Modesta coming a bit late at this point.
Well, there's around 8 overs to go, so they will. Those are some of the images from fans that are here out watching the beautiful game, being entertained out here. It's good to see people out coming through to support this ever so growing game. Well, if you're just joining us, whether you're watching from the subcontinent on fan code or around the globe from wherever you may be around the globe on Sports Eye, you find Zimbabwe 80 for 1 just after 12 overs. They just lost the wicket of Sean Myers, gone for 39 of 40, strike rate of 97. She will be happy with the efforts. She's given a team a platform to launch from. Her departure has brought in Kelis Ndlovu. She'll be on the non-strikers end at the moment. This just gives an opportunity for Kenya to try and make inroads to Zimbabwe's possible total. A wicket always slows things down because the other batter is looking to get themselves in. So you need to try as much as possible to utilize this opportunity where things can tend to get slow a bit. It'll be Lavender Alavista. Idiambo back into the attack. Worked away with ease. It's a good strike rotation from Modesta Mpachikwa. Ever so active in between the wickets. Always has a good posture when she is facing. Right. Kelis Tanyara Ndlovu is on strike.
Like Modesta, which parts of that the Zimbabwe squad that won the ICC qualifiers in Uganda? Big hitter for the team, great asset to the side, especially as they prepare ahead of the ICC World Cup global qualifiers in Abu Dhabi.
Yep, she played a beautiful or a blind of a tournament. A great striker of the ball. A little stoppage in play at the moment. One of the players is not looking in a good position. She's limping. Don't know what happened to her. I'll allow it for the team physio to have a look at it. And substitute field, the 12th player will come through. That is Judith Ijambo Ogola. Will replace her. And we can continue. Just having a look at Kelly Ndlovu's starts in her career. Skip of the under-19s. Gets off the mark. A strike rate of 97 that Kellis has. 250s already under her belt. The highest of 58. I'm sure she would love to do better, but I'm sure she will be somebody to look forward to in her career. Just 18 years of age. Modesta will feel like she's missed out on an opportunity to score there. And this will be important for Kenya. Top balls, if they can get a few more in, it will slow down Zimbabwe's scoring rate. Worked away leg side. Sweeper will pick that up. No. Too fine for that shot by Modesta. No sweeper. It was hit with such precision. Kept low, but she was able to get down and get to it. And picks up another boundary, Modesta. Strike rate of 102 at the moment for Modesta. She's doing well. Oh, good ball. Just one creeping up on Modesta. Doing well to fence it off. Marks the end of the 13th. It's 86 for 1 after 13.
6 runs conceded in that over by Lavender. To the delight of the Zimbabwe batters. Modesta looking good. She's just 14 runs shy of a half century.
Yeah, but 14, little may they seem, but I tell you, it's a mountain to climb. Now this is an opportunity for Kenya to try and get one back in. Kelly Ndlovu is on strike. How they operate against her will be key and crucial. Flavia picked up the first wicket. She'll be high in confidence. Let's see if she can do better and pick up the second. No. We'll have to wait a little bit longer. Just faltering in a run up there. But still, I would love to hear Kenya encouraging themselves, cheering each other up, but they're quiet as a mouse. Booming drive. Kelly's still feeling for the ball, trying to work herself in, and playing herself in. Give herself a little bit of time. So each and every player in the circle needs to be on the edge. Full toss. Kellis will feel like she missed out on that opportunity. And she was trying to play it through the offside with a straight bat. It didn't come off. So Flavia will be the fortunate of the two pots there. Another retake from Flavia. struggling with a run-up. Better. This is good for Kenya. That's 3 dot balls. Edged. And they will pick up 2. A push. Some sloppy fielding in the end there, because that should have been kept to 1, but allows Kellis to come back for a second.
Ella, you talked about the fielding, the Kenyan side there being a bit silent. I'm wondering what is going on in the minds of Esther Wachira and her teammates down there. Is it like they're losing the fight, or I'm not sure how to describe what we're seeing at this point down.
We'll talk about that more in after this over. It's an important note that you make there. Crunched by Modesta. It will run away to the field, to the boundary for another boundary. So they'll finish off the 13th over with the boundary. What seemed like was a good over for Kenya has finished with 7 runs conceded. 14 overs down, 93 for 1 Zimbabwe. Powered through extra cover by Modesta there. That's good awareness of the field placement. Just gives herself a chance. Crowds are growing on such a Sunday. People have time to come out and watch the game, which is good. I'm hoping to see a little bit much more people coming through in Ghana, having a taste of cricket for the first time at such a big stage. To the point that you were making about why Kenya is quiet, it could be largely due to pressure. You find yourself under pressure, so you can't really cheer somebody when things are tense. But you just need to give yourself a little bit of hope and belief that things can change. Quick single taken. So it's within that situation where you need to believe in yourself, because right now the Zimbabwean dugout is louder than those on the field of play. So it's making it comfortable for the Zimbabwean batters to bat with ease and comfort. Lavender finishing off their allotted 4.
Lavender, she's conceded 28 runs so far. The C's, she's into her very last over. 4 balls left. She'll be looking to see if she can pick the wicket of Modesta. Modesta now 40 off 39 deliveries. Bold!
Kenya strike through Lavender. A brilliant piece of bowling there. Modesta Mpachekwa will be disappointed with that one. She departs for 40. But however, the team will be overly pleased with her innings because she's done well. Lavender, in this particular delivery, it was full and went between that gap between bat and ball. That's good work. Zimbabwe, 94 for 2.
Good efforts from Modesta. 40 of 40 deliveries, 100% strike rate. The partnership between Modesta and Sean Marys has been able to do part of the job for the Zimbabwe batting innings. But kudos to Lavender. I'm sure the side will be very relieved, and maybe Ally will begin to hear those cheers you talked about and those noises, expected ones.
Over. Only 1 run conceded so far, and they've picked up the all-important breakthrough. And not just any wicket, the wicket of Modesta Mpachiko gone for 40. And it'll give Kenya something to smile about towards the end. Marianne launches and goes big for a maximum to get off the mark. A brilliant strike by the Zimbabwean captain. Means business at the start of her innings, and that 6 takes Zimbabwe to 100 for 2. Not short, but was able to get her bat underneath it. And my oh my, what a big one it was. Still pressure on Kenya. Still keeps them quiet despite picking up a wicket. Pulled away. They will run for 2. Some interesting fielding position from Esther. But however, marks the end of the 15th. So after 15 overs, Zimbabwe 102 for the loss of 2. All right, as we come down to the last quarter, or the third quarter of this Zimbabwean innings, 5 overs remaining, 102 on the board at the cost of 2 wickets. And the 2 wickets had been the set batters of Zimbabwe who have laid a platform. 40 from Modesta Mpachiko, Sean Myers 39 of 40, an 80-run partnership that they had. Gives Kellis Ndlovu and Marianne Musonda an opportunity to launch Zimbabwe further in their projected score. Currently at 136. Swept away. Big. It's a vacant region. They will push for 2. We welcome back Innocent Daula into the box. Innocent, you come back full of action. A wicket and maximum.
I hope you enjoyed your time with the beautiful voice of Ijoma Okigbo. She must have been in high spirits after Nigeria made it to the semi-finals, finishing second in Group A. But it's Kellis Ndlovu, the teenage sensation, the superstar of the new generation of Zimbabwean women cricketers, with the captain, Marianne Musonda, doing the business.
Yeah, don't put on pressure on her calling her superstar. She's still working away there. She's got potential.
Nobody starts a career with 350s, with Player of the Match awards, picking them for fun. Nobody does that, and you don't give them the flowers. Give her the flowers while she's still alive. Come on, Zimbabwe.
That's works a single. Kelly's a good striker of the ball, I'll tell you. So what's happening at the moment is that Marianne normally has that enforcer role in Zimbabwe's innings, top of the order, but swaps the role with Sean Myers. And that's why you see when she got to the crease, she was ready to go. And I'll tell you that given the opportunity in these 5 remaining overs, and we could be in for quite a number of big boundaries. So it's important that Kenya apply themselves quite well. Projected score now set at 138.
Melvin Kagoisa, the vice captain, still a teenager. But I can tell you she's got a good head on her shoulders. Her first over went for 3. She's given out 5 in this thus far. Very good bowler. But Marianne Musonda will and Kellison Love will throw the kitchen sink at all the bowling they can get now, because it is time to make hay while the sun still shines.
Don't know about throwing the kitchen sink, but I know that they will give it their best shot. Right, just having it the field set. Oh, shuffling across the stumps, Marianne, noticing that Melvis is going just a little bit leg side and concedes a wide, but she was happy to help that one over. Short, square.
Marianne doesn't look like she can hit the ball a long mile, but she's got a lot of finesse. The ball always managing to land in the sweet spot of her bat, not at that particular shot you watched.
Is it the ball landing on or the bat getting to the...
You heard what I said, and I insist with it.
I love Innocent's description. He's a man full of flair, poetic, I tell you. Worked leg side by Callis. This one will keep the fielder interested, but it'll die down just as it gets to the boundary. Collected, but they run 3.
Going for glory is what Zimbabwe are doing here on the last day of the round-robin phase. Kenya have a victory here. They know another win here has them in that place where they want to be. The semifinals, 112 for 2 after 16.
There'll be a change in ends by Flav Idiambo. She'll be now coming through from the golf course end, hoping for a better change in fortunes. She has been the key bowler for Kenya, has struck in her first over, just gone for 16 runs in the 2 that she's bowled. Picked up the wicket of Sean Myers. But Zimbabwe's run rate from 6, it has climbed to 7.
That's where they want to be. I like teams like Zimbabwe when they come out here and show true class, show that rankings do matter in cricket. You heard Ijoma's story when she said the lowest ranked countries here, Nigeria and Rwanda, have put on a show that everybody else should admire, who thought Nigeria would be topping the table in Group A before these games were played in the morning.
Good work at extra cover by the captain, leading from the front, putting herself in those key positions where you know that the ball is going to come to you. All right, Kellis, how will she go? Punched on the ground. As much as you're looking to go hard towards the end, you can still pick up singles. It's important to keep the scoreboard ticking. Right, Marianne on strike. There will be a change in the field set. Deep square leg will come in. The sweeper will remain. And they will be long off, long on. Deep mid wicket.
You look at these two batters and remind me of Kampala. They were opening the batting together. And now they come in at 1 drop and 2 drop. Shows you the amount of talent in Zimbabwe's basket. The stable is full of talent, and they're showing it all here to the rest of Africa in their pursuit of a gold medal. May they go on and pick it up. Bless them, Zimbabwe. When you put and resources and invest in more of them together, you will reap the rewards.
Crunch through the offside. Sweeper was pulled back in. Marianne will look to get as much as she can, but she'll only pick up a couple. They're pushing for 3. Opportunity for a run out. Fumble by the keeper allows them to run 3. pushing as hard as possible. And I tell you, if they'd kept the sweep on the offside, that would have kept it to 1. But Esther thought that Marianne would go leg side and decided to pack the leg side with boundary riders. The same that she's doing for Kellis at the moment.
Tiara Muto on a long day. She missed the stamping of Modesta Mpachikwa early on in the innings. She's fumbled with this, a chance for a run out. And they will pay the Kenyans. Across the line from Marianne, who's poured that one to long on. For 1, Flavia Atieno Odiambo. Skill set being put to the task.
It's always a difficult place for Kenya at the moment. You have a left hand and a right hander. The minute they change ends, you need to change your fielding positions. As a bowler also, you need to think about adjusting your lines and length. It just gives an opportunity of error on 1 or 2 things right there. Right, Marianne on strike. How will she go on this one? Looking to blast through the covers. Pushes for a bye.
Vivek Krishna Mehta, one of the youngsters coming through the ranks for Kenya. First time she was appeared on the scene in Botswana last year, September, for the Division 2 qualifiers. Looked very, very small. Saw her in December looking a little stylish, and now she's looking like she's going through the ranks, and I like the weight on her body. It looks like she's working out and working harder. We will see a lot of her with the bat because she plays as a batter.
Right, peg leg side, and open offside. Punched on the ground for a single. And that will be the end of the 17th over. So after 17 overs, Zimbabwe 19 for 2.
How many more can Zimbabwe get?
Well, I'll tell you what, in the remaining 3, you have 8 wickets in hand. One of the 2 will look to go big between Marianne and Kellis, but I can put my money on Marianne that she'll be looking to be the attacking one because of the power that she possesses and the range of hitting that she has. And they will look to target to get between 20 to 25 in the remaining 3 overs at most. But if I am to be just a little bit more, if they can get 40, they'll be happy.
I'm giving them 30. I won't say much like you said. I have a summary in my head. I'm giving them 30 so they can get to that 149, 150 run mark. Across, they're having a drinks break. Uganda lost the toss. They are 55 for no loss after 10. Rwanda not bowling very poorly, but the Ugandan batters are sticking in there and grinding. Whichever way it goes, that result, it could be a party spoiler like we watched in the morning. Tanzania spoiling the party for Namibia. Mary Ann hits hard. There is a misfield there, but the good recovery from the fielder. I beg your pardon. It's the lefty, Kellis, in the low vote. Tanyaranza. Did I mention that Did I pronounce that nicely?
Tanyaranzwa.
Tanyaranza.
Yeah.
I win. I'll get there.
You're getting there. You're close. You're very close.
And from my view here, I can tell you Chiesa Ndururu is stretching. More firepower in this Zimbabwe lineup.
Definitely more firepower in Nyasha Kwanzaa as well. I'm sure she'll be warming up as well. Because those 2 Zimbabwe's power heaters down towards the end.
You're right. It is Chiesa.
Marianne gives herself on the offside. Works it well just around the corner. Past short square leg. And it'll be 4. She was caught a little bit in 2 minds whether to go for a maximum. But because of the flight of the ball and the bounce it got, just tacked it around the corner for 4.
Esther Wachira Wangare, the skipper, player of the match from the last game that Kenya beat Rwanda. Chance for run Veronica, Vanessa and Veronica and Mercy Ahono, Sifuna running into each other. The smaller frame, Mercy, pleading for mercy from the bigger frame.
Well, they're giving everything they have, throwing your body on the line at this point in time.
Already 6 runs in the over. Let's see if they can get the 4. I need to get to my target. Good shot there from Kelly's. Does it pepper the boundary? Yes. The ropes will have nothing to do with stopping it. They must fetch from outside the boundary.
That's another boundary to Kellis. And this one, straying leg side, was Esther Wachira and duly punished. The square leg was just a little bit too square to save that boundary. Right, 10 already off the over. 2 deliveries to go.
Right on cue. Slapped down the line. There is a good fielder right there, Vanessa Diambo Woko, but they are running for 2. Marianne Musonda tells the youngster, if I can run this fast, I expect you to wear your jet heels and show them a clean pair of heels as well.
That's a good running. The call was clear from the get-go that they're looking for 2.
Kelly's forcing the pace here. Fantastic stop and effort in the field right there. From Jemima and Dan Usila.
End of the 18th, it'll be 132 for the loss of 2 for Zimbabwe.
Very good game. Good for the viewers. We need to see scores like this. Somebody whispering to me yesterday on the day of when are the men coming to town. We would love to see big scores, big hits. And I tell you, everyone can't wait any longer. But first, the women must have their party. After all, the girls want to have fun. Precious Marange running here quickly and whispering something to Ndururu, and she dashes back. I like to be a fly on the wall in the dugout of the Zimbabweans to hear what type of advice is going on.
Kellis Lovo looking to go over car corner, but presents a catch. Caught on the run. It's a beautiful take. Tame celebrations or subdued celebrations from the Kenyans. But all importantly, they remove Kellis. Kagoitsa rewarded with a wicket. Beautiful take out in the deep, a running catch. Zimbabwe will now be 132 for the loss of 3.
Cheers and Ndururu. The new batter in as expected. Work to be done there. Chance for her. To get some individual score there going with no pressure whatsoever. If you ask me again, I can tell you it's a hit-out moment for Zimbabwe. I think they have enough to win this one already.
Cheza looking to get off the mark. Bit of miscommunication there between her and Mary. Marianne just noting to her that listen for my call. Now this will be, has been a good over so far. Started off with a wicket, a couple of top balls. Better. And they push through. Marianne Musonda gets the strike. And this will be an interesting contest right here. Kagoisa has picked up a wicket. She's very high on that. Marianne Musonda thinks she's given herself enough to B set. 17 to a name of 8. Comes down the track. Charging. She'll pick up just one.
Good bowling from Melvin Kagolsa. This over's gone just for 2 runs. Picked up the wicket of her first ball in the last over. And here she is. The call is 2. Can they get 2? Marianne Msonda overbacked up. She couldn't make it.
I guess Marianne was looking at the fact that it's the last delivery. And the way in which it was punched. 19 overs down. 135 for 3 Zimbabwe. All right, who does Kenya go to for the last over, the 20th one? Zimbabwe will be looking to go big on this one. Projected score currently 142. The first boundary. Hit it as straight as possible. Efforts by the bowler to catch that one. With no avail. I can tell you that was just to signal that she won't be able to stop it. Skied up in the air, keep under it, and Fielder takes it. And Chieza Dororo departs. Was looking to go leg side, but only manages to top edge it. And that presents a Vivek Murta with a catch. Dororo will depart for 6. Zimbabwe 140 for 4. Krishna Vivek Murta well composed under that one and took a magnificent catch. Keeper was running towards her, but she made a loud call that it was mine. Knew better the crease will be. Nyasha Gwanzura, a big hitter. But I tell you, they'll look to get Marianne on strike. That's the discussion that they're having. Just get contact on it and let me take it from there, unless otherwise.
From one big hitter to another big hitter, Flavia Atieno Odiambo. 4 balls left in her spell and in the innings. There she does. Chickley does it. Running it past the keeper. Vacant region there, no slips.
No, they do well and they pick up 2. I like the call from Marianne Msonda, saying that there's an opportunity to run 2 despite wanting to be on strike. She will take any run that comes away. All right, 3 deliveries remaining in this last over. Oh, again, Yasha looking to give herself room on the leg side. Misses it totally.
Going for power there, and the advice from Marianne is like, just do what you did the previous ball. Stop it. Get some bat on it and leave the rest. Better,
well done.
but no run. Again, going for power. It's not about power at the moment. There's somebody there who's right in there and makes just catch and go.
Diambo trying to finish well down the track, misses it totally. The wicketkeeper enforces a stumping of the last delivery after a second bite of the cherry. So, Zimbabwe, after their 20 allotted overs, they will be on 142 for the loss of 5 wickets. They'll be the happier of the two sides, past the 100 mark and put on 40 more runs. Now we're scoring at a rate of 7.1. So we'll be back shortly at the start of the Kenyan innings where they chased that one. Let's just have a look at the scorecard to see how we ended up here. Kenya winning the toss early on in the morning and choosing to bowl first. Zimbabwe were happy to be put in to bat first. A great start that they had up in the order. Looking at Zimbabwe's scorecard, Sean Myers and Modestam Pachiko opened the batting for Zimbabwe, putting an 80-run partnership, 40 from Modestam Pachiko from 40, Sean putting on 39 from 40, and there were an 8 runs from Kelis Lovu on 24, and then Marianne Musonda powered through 18 of 9 deliveries. Cheze Dururu 6 from her bat. Nyasha Gwanzura just a couple before she was stumped. In the 20 allotted overs, Zimbabwe put on 142 for 5. Having a look at Kenya's bowling lineup, Lavender a bit on the expensive side. Picked up a wicket but went for 36 in our loaded overs. Melvin Kagoita, much more economical, 4 overs, 16 runs conceded and picked up a wicket. Jamaino Sila didn't pick up any wicket, went for 32. Esther Wachira, the captain herself, bowled decently well, 28 runs conceded in a 4 overs. And then Flavia Odiambo picked up 3 wickets for 29 runs in a loaded 4 overs. So, the equation at the moment, 143 is what Kenya will need. Have a look at the highlights from this encounter. We welcome you back from wherever you are watching this last round of games in Group B of the 13th edition of the African Games in Accra, Ghana. Achimota Stadium is the venue. Arena A to be specific. In the subcontinent, you're watching through fan code. Around the globe, it's through Sports Eye. Just to mention a few of our sponsors: ITW, EGL, E-Gaming Sports, Magic Win Sports as well. Proudly bringing you the action that is happening. Kenya winning the toss and choosing to field first. Managing just to restrict Zimbabwe to around 142 for 5. A score that I tell you Zimbabwe will be very, very proud of. So 143 will be the target that Kenya need in their efforts to try and get something out of this tournament, some sort of win. But however, every team that has faced Zimbabwe at the moment have met the sharp end of their sword. With me in the commentary box to bring you the live action is Innocent Daola. Good afternoon, Innocent.
Good afternoon, Eli. Beautiful times to be here with all teams knowing what is at stake. Kenya asked for it. They won the toss and stuck in Zimbabwe. Well, they have 143 to chase. If they win this game, they are straight in the semifinals. If they lose without a very bad net run rate, they are still in the semifinals. Uganda could still afford to lose, of course, and not lose badly, and still make it to the semifinals. It's that sort of game. Tell the tape, quite different. Everybody's got something to play for. Pride, a medal, and some packs from the government.
All right, opening the bowling for Zimbabwe from the Zoo end will be Nomvelo Spanda. Left armour. She has had a decent tournament. Very economical and tight up front. Pushes the ball across the right-handers. And has got that one delivery that she just brings back in earlier on. Now, full start. Need to do that again. Something that is common that we've seen quite a lot in this game. Bowlers just losing it up during their run-up. Melvin Kagoitsa is the opening batter. That's what I said. She just pushes one across. Melvin. Melvin Kagoitsa has got a strike rate of 64 in T20, best of 28. She would look to try and improve that with that strike rate of 143 that is required in this encounter. Nomvelo Spanda just running to the touchline, not happy with her headgear. Want some help from the way that it is hot out there. Has been sweating hard. She is well poised with some sunscreen, and now she's been asked to remove it because the batter says, I can't see the ball because your face has also got some sunscreen, which is white.
Good mind games going on here from Melvin Kagoitsa.
So that you look like the ball in the end.
But how I like her look.
But it's hot out there.
A pale look, but a terrifying look for the batter.
Oh, yeah.
She comes steaming in through quickly.
I'll tell you what.
But Melvin says, I can't have this.
I tell you what, it'll only charge her up a little bit more. She will be running in hard. Non-velo Spanda. Just like that. Swing and a miss. Mind games at play, but non-velo will be equally up to this task. Slower through the back of the hand. Cut through point, but well fielded by Kellis Ndlovu. Zimbabwe's sharp fielders packing through the offside, but pretty much all of the Zimbabweans, they are sharp fielders. Back at the hand, slow ball. Everybody pretty much inside the circle except for fine leg and third. There's a slip in there.
Precious steady in the slips.
Swing and a miss. So this is what happens with non-velo Spanda. She bowls so well. She might not pick wickets, but she creates the pressure. When there is a changeover in the bowler, you might think, let me go against this one because we didn't score much in the first over, thereby creating wicket-taking opportunities. Good work by Josephine Como at extra cover. Cleans up well. A lovely, lovely over, a maiden over from non-velo Spanda. After the first over, Kenya, not for naught.
Very good bowler. There she is, Non-velo Sibanda. Played 44 matches. This is her 45th for her country. She's got 48 wickets, a best bowling in an innings of 5 for 14. It's the only fiver she has. That economy of 4.81 is gold dust when it comes to T20Is, and a strike rate of 16. Super stuff for the 27-year-old left-hander. Through and through, you've seen some, the ball left, the bat right. For non-velo, it's a lefty all the way. No runs. Kellis Ndlovu comes into the attack, young Kellis, and she's not giving away anything, just continuing to do what non-velo did in the first over. Go again. Back-to-back dot ball. This will create pressure on Kenya, and Kenya might opt to go big and then perish. Esther Wangare Wachira, the skipper, on strike. Faster one. In the gaps, there's a diving effort in the covers, but it's not good enough. Does it reside to the boundary? No, it doesn't, because the two fielders right at the deep there work in pairs to cut it off.
Good work by Josephine Como. Down at long on. Rain hard to cut that one across. And just kept it to 2. Work leg side this time around. It's also in the gap. They should pick up a couple.
started playing like an elderly statesman in the building. It was like she has all the time in the world to do whatever she wants to do to the bowling. And the way she's running, no pressure whatsoever.
Stochera going for a huge heave. Swing and a miss to end the third over. And it'll be 3 for no loss for Kenya.
Another 18 overs left in this match. There will be a change in the bowling from the Achimota school end. Looks like Josephine Como. Nakai is a very much so Ugandan name. As with one that is straying down the leg side, Melvin Kagoisa just flashing blade to it. She doesn't connect. By the time she played that one, Melvin, it was already gone and into the keeper's gloves. A little too late. The pace of Josephine Como. Too much for Melvin. Big appeal from everybody else on the park in the 30-yard circle, including the bowler Josephine Como and the keeper Modesta Mpachikwa. Tanzanian umpire Adil Kasam says not out.
Hoping for an edge there. That was quite close.
Some little movement there.
Another swipe at it. Failing to pick at it is Melvin Kagoisa. It's the pressure that's piling up. Yet to get off the mark is Melvin. So it's building a corner that she has been fencing for it, trying to have a feel of it, but not able to make contact with the bat.
In the air, chance for a catch. It goes over Cheers and Dururus. And Kelly's chases. Kelly's does very well to keep it in play. They will be running back for the third. Chance will run out. The throw not good from Precious. They get 3. Half a chance.
Well, that was good fielding, good work out in the field from Kellis and Precious Marange. Precious Marange was the one giving chase there. Doing well to keep it within and saving a boundary. Melvin getting off the mark. A little bit streaky, but she'll welcome those runs. Again, flushing from Esther Wachira. And they're looking to try and cut Josephine Como, who is not giving them room to free those arms. Just have a look at that delivery again. The line just outside off stump. And they're looking to cut it. That's just
straight back to the fielder. No runs there. Josephine Como looks so lovely in her bowling stride. It is flawless, and when she's in full flow.
It's end of the third over. 7 for no loss.
They won't be wasting any time. Team Zimbabwe, they bring the golden arm of a gem called Precious Marange. She likes the egg-shaped ball of rugby, but she loves cricket a little bit more, and she's here to play cricket for her country. Throws the bat at it, Melvin Kagoisa. It won't be running away very far away, but well and well, they'll come through for 2. And then there is a dot ball from Precious Marange. Hit over the top. Chance for a catch. Won't carry to Josephine Como. Melvin Kagoisa, youngster who not afraid to take on the bowling. She says, save the names and the reputations for another day, not when I'm playing. Good effort from Precious.
That's off a chance there. Well, Precious Marange nearly catching a blinder of a catch of her own bowling. I love the way that Precious Marange is always eager to get on with the work. She will quickly bowl and get back to her mark as quickly as possible. Right, end of the 4th over. 11 for no loss for Kenya.
Allow me to chip in this quick news. Uganda wrapping up their innings across at Achimorabi, 106 for 2. Not so many runs, but they held fort, and Rwanda was bowling very well, but one lady in particular there carrying her bat through the innings. New role, Immaculate Nakisui, 57 today. Immaculate getting 57 from 56 balls with 8 boundaries. The anchor of that innings and her first half century in her T20 eyes. May she blossom and going to score more runs because she has the finesse and the technique to do so.
Right, a tall order that stands in front of Kenya at the moment. They need 132 runs off 16 overs with 19 deliveries to be exact, 10 wickets in hand. Run rate required is 8.25. Currently scoring at 2.7. Nesta Wachira trying to add a little bit of impetus into the attack, but just playing across the line.
You can see that she is trying, but there's nothing to hit. Nobody is giving it to her in her zone. They see her 6 frame, and they say these long levers will hit out of the park anything we pitch up. Nomvelo Sibanda cramping up for room again. Zimbabwe is fielding, and the field set shows you of people that know exactly what they're doing. Good movement from Nomvelo Sibanda. Esther Wangare just looks back at her and she's got a wry smile on her face. She says, oh my, what a beauty. I like the field setting here. Kelly's the lefty at point when Nomvelo's bowling. When Nomvelo's not bowling, she is at point as well because she's a lefty. The pickups and the angle from the left is super nice for them on the fielding right there. Shows you Zimbabwe is a well-knit and a very well-tutored side, keeping the game simple.
Oh, they're keeping it tidy in Zimbabwe. Nomvelo Spanda is well known for doing this.
Yes, goes where she's running to. Yes! She's gone. She tempted the devil. And I tell you, Lauren Schumer is the girl or the lady with the golden arm that prizes the wicket over Esther Wangare Wachira, the captain of this Kenyan team. Running wildly. She's dismissed with one shot at the stumps. She's got to go. That's the end of Esther Wangare Wachira. 4 from 16. 11 for 1.
I'll tell you what, there was no run there. Absolutely no run. He hit straight to mid-off, who is fielding well within the circle, picks it up, and on the throw, targets the stumps, strikes gold. And the pressure of not scoring and in trying to look for singles results in the perish of Esther Wachira. Kenya, 11 for 1.
They couldn't get runs easily, so when she hit this and she felt like she had a gap on the weaker hand over Lauren Schumer, but my oh my, direct hit and she was gone. That's a new batter in. She middles that one. It's not the new batter facing, it's Melvin Kagoisa who's been there. Veronica Anyango Abuga.
A brilliant over. A second maiden from Nomvelo Spanda. But not just a second maiden, but a maiden wicket is what she has. So, after 5 overs, it is 11 for 1.
On overboard by Precious. She won't be coming back from the golf club end, which Eli calls the football club end, the soccer field end, because there are 2 facilities right there. Achimota complex is rich with social amenities. There is just another bowler in the park. Josephine Como. Changing ends.
Well, it's a swing and a miss from Melvin, or rather Veronica Abuga, being called to come in at a very difficult time where the opening pair are struggling to score runs. Zimbabwe have been tight on their lines, not presenting any scoring opportunities. Fancies at that one. Misses the edge. This is good bowling so far from Zimbabwe. That one missing the outside edge as well as just the top of off stump. So either of the two could have been clipped by that ball. Too good for a ball to get you a wicket.
Oh no.
just skyrockets, or rather dot ball conceded. Up, trying to clear the infield circle. She does that. A couple of bounces, but however, doesn't go over the rope. Good work from Nyasha Gwanzura. Keeps it within to save a boundary. Only 2 runs conceded in that over. The power play done. 6 overs down, 13 for 1.
Where is this headed to? They're moving at just 2.17 runs every over. Only getting 13 runs in the power play. Veronica Nyanga Buga and Vice Captain Melvin Kagoisa must find a method to the madness of their innings, because there is a semi-final spot at stake and they require great. These 2 dot balls, 3 dot balls away from getting to 10 per over.
Well, it's a difficult place where you don't face such kind of opposition regularly. And edged, but it'll fall safely. It'll be retrieved by third man there. And that one just coming off the outside toe edge of the bat of Melvin Kagoisa. Sean Mayer's in your picture, fielding at by the boundary, fielder at third. Swing and a miss. Veronica is just looking to close her eyes and swing it at it, hoping that some sort of contact will come and give her the results that she needs. I can understand why they're doing that, because from the way they play, they're power hitters. And they're saying that everybody's inside the circle, so if I can just get it over, I'll be okay. But not paying attention to the length and line in which is being bowled.
Marianne Musonda sends long off down, and then Nomvelo Sibanda pitches it up. A third shot, tempting line. Says, well, you've got the power. Let's see you fly.
Edged again. Marianne Musonda put herself in second slip position, but it's just a little bit wide of her. She smiles and is trying to make some adjustments to the fielding. This is good bowling from Nomvelo. Right, Marianne has moved out of slip and is now in a flying gully position. Here we go. Straighter, but with power. And this one definitely will reach for that boundary. No one will save this one. Melvin Kagoisa makes the necessary impact and picks up a boundary.
That's the beautiful shot from Melvin Kagoisa, 16-year-old vice captain of Kenya, getting 1 boundary to her name. They need as many boundaries as these, either to inch ever so close to that total. They are chasing. I have a belief that the Kenyan coach, Francis Ndege Otieno, must have asked the girls today, go express yourselves. I want to see you play 20 overs, trying to express yourselves. Don't go there and fold meekly because you're playing Zimbabwe.
End of the 7th, 19 for 1.
Change in the bowling. Yes, it is that familiar frame of a girl who is looking so cool behind the shades. Lorraine Schumer coming to the attack. Flight on offer, hit over the bowler, almost shaking hands with her. That's been the worst dismiss I've watched in this tournament. You get a lollipop and you give it back to the owner.
Well, I'm sure Veronica was not expecting that one. Loose now, you'd say, back of the hand, but not making the contact that she wanted. She was closing the face of the bat. Up in the air, but it'll drop safely. Veronica has not looked comfortable the minute that she's got Melvin, not looking comfortable in this occasion versus Lorraine Schumer. Fuller, but can't pierce the field, Veronica. Lorraine Schumer has been changing it up. Either she's bowling regular off spin or back of the hand leg spin. Much better length. I remember back in the days when we used to bowl, and you'd hear the coach say, pitch the ball. If you're a spinner, pitch it. Don't be bowling full tosses. That's Fuller again. Just struggling with the length is Lorraine Schumer. Was one of the top wicket takers out in Uganda in the T20 qualifier. Had magnificent figures in that tournament. Again, and this time Veronica making contact, looking to open the face of the blade, but Sean Myers equally up to the task. 2 runs off this over. 8 overs down, 21 for 1.
There will be a change in the ends for Precious Marangwe. Her first over went for 4 runs. She feeds on wickets. A spell from her is not complete if she's not picking wickets. The quad run rate is 10.17. Scraping away, and Precious would like to make things a little more miserly for the Kenyans. Precious to Melvin. 1 run it will be.
All right, one thing that I can tell you is that Zimbabwe are cruising through these overs. Already into the 9th over. And only 22 runs conceded. You can see how Precious Marange is quickly going through the pace to get to the top of a bowling mark. Swing and a miss from Veronica. No room to work that one away. Smiles at how the ball was coming into her just a bit. She thought she could just play through the offside. Heaves it up and over. Does she get enough distance? No, she doesn't. A simple catch for Lorraine Schumer. Was bowling from the other end. She takes her her first catch, but her second involvement in the game. It is 22 for 2.
That's the dismissal. High up in the skies, all the height, no distance. Just lands into those big bucket hands of the fielder. And it's a wicket time. Lorraine Schumer helps Precious Marange pick up a fast wicket. 2-2-2 after 8.4 is the score. And walking into bat at number 5 for Kenya is Vivek Krishna Mehta. One for the future, certainly. I say that without fear or favor.
No, she definitely comes in at a point in time where a team would want to see her putting up one of her best performances. A tall order. Run rate with the fall of the wicket has gone past the 10 mark. It's now 10.5, or just above 10.5.
Let's see what Vivek has got to offer, because it's a tall order.
Shouts of LBW, but I'll tell you that an element of height will come into play on that one. Just hitting a high above on the thigh pit.
Full face of the bat from Vivek Krishna Mehta. It's the end of a very good over ball here by Precious Marangwe. It goes for 1 and there is a wicket in it. It's the end of the over. 2-2-2 after 9 overs.
Sort of like a double Nelson jab. Who from Kenya will take up the challenge of this mammoth task that they have at hand? In chasing 142, needing 121 runs at the moment in 11.1 overs. Playing straight, better from Melvin. She's not doing so bad, Melvin. 13 of 19. It's a very decent strike rate at the moment, but they will need a little bit more. Goes big, leg side. And this one will go over the boundary. There was a good solid stroke, well within her arc, and she picked a gap and gets 4. Lauren Chuma straying just a little bit leg side.
There she goes, Gangu style, I can tell you that. And she bisects the fielders. Another magic wind boundary there.
Better, much better by Lorraine. Good comeback. It's always important for a bowler that the way you come back after being hit for a boundary or a maximum, you need to stay on top of things.
The first over she bowled there, Lauren looked like she was struggling with the grip of the ball. Sometimes spinners struggle with the new oily seam. But she's coming to terms that the skipper wants me to bowl. I must bowl, or else find myself amongst the reserves. In the air, who wants that? Won't carry. She was there waiting and waiting to see if she could carry all the way to her.
That's an extra cover there. Hoping that it would have enough. Goes big and straight. Going to be 1 bounce before Kellis Ndlovu, who sends it back just to keep them to a 1 and end the over. Halfway through the mark, 27 for 2. So after 10 overs, Kenya with a target of 143. They are currently 27 for the loss of 2 after 10 overs. They need 116 runs from another 10 overs. 60 deliveries to be specific. Run rate required 11.6. Still an achievable target.
Is it me or is it you? Why do I think you're smiling?
Because it's an achievable target. You've got 60 deliveries. If you can go 2 and from those 60 balls, you can get to 120. So do the math. It's still within reach. Just a good cameo from 3 or so players. They can give themselves a chance. All right, Lindoguhle Mabero, we're seeing her for the first time in this tournament, being given the ball.
This is not 2024 BC, before Christ. This is 2024 in the other century. Let's be realistic. How many more do you think Kenya can get with the showing they've shown us in the first 10 overs? Don't tell me about targets and how it is possible, because that's not possible. They won't get the target. You got to be realistic here.
Well, you've been telling me about the array of players they have who are future stars from Kenya. This is the moment that makes great players. Take the opportunity. Make something of it, what seems impossible. All the superstars that you see, there have been moments that they are called upon. The Ben Stokes, Virat Kohli's, the moments when they are called in to have a go at it. Right now what you're seeing is that Melvin Kagoitsa got struck on the head with the ball. Despite it being to spin, they still need to do a concussion test. She's saying, I'm fine, but the umpire says, rules are rules, my friend. We need to go through those basics. She's like, let's get the ball rolling. Just creeping on and catching it on the grill.
Eli evades my question. But here is Lindoguhle Mabera.
Mabero. She will.
Hits it straight to the bowler.
A very good field, I tell you. She's throwing herself around. Now well bowled. That one just getting a little bit of bounce than what Melvin was expecting. Fuller again, but no luck in piercing this heavily pegged side. A maiden over to start off with for Lindoguhle. Another maiden for Zimbabwe. 11 overs down, 27 for 2 for Kenya. Going back to your point, Innocent, we're talking about how much Kenya can put on. This is an opportunity. Give yourself a chance. Work with what the coaches have been telling you. Play positively. Look to see how you can manipulate. Even try the approach that Marion had and Sean Myers had early on into the attack. A new ball is presented. You go at them and just shake things up a bit. Not allow the bowlers to settle within their rhythm.
Believe me, Zimbabwe is not Kenya. No disrespect to the neighbors of the country where I come from, Uganda. But the skill set, you need this certain skill set to be able to do what Sean Myers has done. They've not just done it overnight. And here you look at these girls. You as an ICC commentator, you will see them at the under-19 qualifiers, many of the Kenyan girls, so they need to go through the ranks. Don't try to run before you can crawl.
Leading edge drops short of Nyasha. Was hoping that it would, that's Precious Marange rather, that it would land in her hands. Well, I think Precious thought of diving, but then she thought she'll be diving onto the table there. A little bit of hard ground, unlike the rest of the field, with this lush green grass that you're seeing to provide a bit of comfort. Because of Melvin now, she's been pushed back to sweeper on the boundary. Again, nothing to work with there for Melvin. And tries to slog sweep it. Only finds Josephine Nkomo, shot mid-wicket. Trying again to heave it straight, but inside edge pierces square leg and mid-wicket to pick up a single. One more delivery in the over. Just 2 runs from this one. Pushed that by Vivek for a single. It's good timing.
Some little good wrist work there from Vivek.
End of the 12th over, 30 for the loss of 2.
Still want to go back to your point about how this is a big chance to show their mental fortitude.
Exactly. They need to dig deep just to show that they're not here to make up numbers. They have a bit of fight as much as they're playing a Goliath. We need a David amongst their ranks who can just pick up a slingshot and saying, we have slayed lions, we have slayed bears, and definitely we can go for you.
Well, you speak nicely of that, remind me of the Romans, but even the Roman Empire came down, warriors, and died in the arena. But well, for me, for Kenya, it's all about playing to leave the badge in a good place. They must play to leave the badge in a good place. So the next people that come to play are proud to play for Kenya. They must play and become role models for the youngsters back in Kenya. The youngsters in Nakuru, in Kisumu, in Eldoret, in Nairobi, in Naivasha, in Mombasa. Because there's a lot of talent across Kenya. We have a development program well stipulated. Swipe across there. Marianne on the chase. She tries to adjudge the bounce. Little nutmeg from the ball, but she recovers very well. And for Kenya, again, for me, the advice I have for them, I am not shy to talk about Kenya boldly. They must learn to forgive. Sports forgives. In sport, everybody has a second chance. 6 senior players missing from here. The reasons not known to us, they must find it within themselves and their systems to make sure the best available players the country has are the ones representing the country.
Now a lot is required, I tell you. Run rate skyrocketing, just passing the 16 run mark with each dot ball. Looking to work at leg side, opportunity of a run out. Well, that was close, very close.
Still talking about Kenya. That's the shot from Vivek Mehta, very stylish, very risky. Almost getting herself in lots of trouble, but we don't have the perfect angle to see that.
Swing and a miss, ending Laurentuma's spell of 4 overs. Bowled out, conceded only 11 runs. She's done well in her 4 allotted overs. After 14 overs, 35 for 2. Change in bowling from the zoo end. Innocent keeps changing the ends, their names. Call it the city end, and some point call it the golf course end. But understand there's a zoo somewhere in this direction, and in that direction, Nyasha Gwanzura will be bowling from there. An off spinner, and whilst Melvin Kagoisa gets some treatment from the medic, just clipping the inside of her heel there. It's very painful once you hit that part of your body with the bat. A chance for others to get a much needed refreshment. Right, Nyasha Gwanzura to Melvin Kagoisa in the start of the 15th over. Conundrum, 108 required of 6 overs. Can we see a cameo from Melvin Kagoisa that just gives them something respectable on the board? Thinks about it. Punch through the covers and I'll pick up a single. And think of two. I'll just keep it 2-1. Change in the fielding. It's Vivek betting. Pretty much everybody is in from the offside. Swings across the line, almost giving mid-wicket a chance of a catch. Josephine Como, her eyes must have lit up for a moment when she saw that one coming in a direction, but it was just a few meters away from her. Comes down the track, and fortunate enough that she was betting deep in, and she manages just to keep her back leg within the crease. And that is Melvin Kagoitsa. Big swing from Kagoitsa. There will be a couple of bounces. My Precious Marange gets an awkward bounce and finds a boundary being gifted to Kenya. And they will welcome that with both hands. Our Precious Marange has done damage to herself in that effort to stop that ball. She still remains on the ground. There will be call for the medics to attend to her. So her knee getting plugged into the surface there for a moment. There will be a moment for people to get some messages across and fluids. Precious Marange remains down. The team medic gives a look at her knee. And they will help her onto her feet. Struggling to get up. I hope it's something that they can easily attend to. She looks to be in some discomfort and pain there.
Precious Marange will get some first aid from the Zimbabwe medic, who's really under her mileage in this tournament. The doctor, I've seen her at our lodging treating some of the officials from Zimbabwe. But for 41-year-old Precious, the bone's not growing any younger, of course. Anything can hurt there. And she needs all the care she is in the world, because Zimbabwe will need her at the coming tournaments, especially at the global qualifiers, where Zimbabwe has been a couple of times and failed just by the thinnest of margins to qualify for the bigger World Cup.
Crunched. Chieza Dororo picks up an opportunity for a run out. Modesta Mpachi were not well aware of how far Melvin was, just lackadaisically makes an attempt to try and remove the bails. Marks the end of the 15th over. First bit of action that we've had in a while. 43 for 2. In the replay, Chieza Dororo picks up and throws. Chieza Dororo there, just making a vain attempt to effect a run out. Don't know what she was waiting for.
3 run-outs missed by Zimbabwe. That's fine this innings. I'd like to give some flowers to Melvin Kagoitsa. It's been a Melvin Kagoitsa show. She has more than a half of the runs that Kenya have, and she's just 16. She's had you. She said, "What are you talking about? I can show you what I can do." Vivek Mehta going for a swipe across the line there. She doesn't get it from the middle, but she can get a single.
I like that attitude from Vivek, looking to take on Kalis Ndlovu, knowing that she's a lefty bowling in through with the arm. There's not much turn happening. So if I give myself room, square leg is inside the circle. So this is a vacant region to try and score from. So it'll be a safe shot to do a slog sweep. Straight up from Kagoisa. Clean contact.
The African Games, the first time cricket is being included, and the women, it's the women that make the ball. The top 8 nations in the continent, Melvin, Kagoisa, and Vivek run. They run very hard. They've lived a life like a cat 9 times. They're attempting to take these runs, and they're surviving.
This is good. This is showing that they can put the fielder under pressure when fielding. Up in the air, an opportunity for Nomvelo Spanda. And the catcher is Nomvelo completes the catch. Kalis Ndlovu strikes. Well, the rock that had been embedded as Kenya's innings, Melvin Kagoisa looking to work it leg side, skies it. Presents Zimbabwe with the wicket. It's now 46 for 3. And Melvin departs 30 of 48. No better, Vanessa Adiambo.
Wicket for Kalis. She deserved it. She's been bowling very well. 1 for 6 in her second over. And here it's 46 for 3 after 15.5. Chance to run. Shen Myers will chase. There's a little limp in her running. I hope she's okay. We need her to see her go big like she did today for half 40 runs.
Well, she has a little limp. I told you she's coming back from injury. That's why she's fielding in these positions that don't put her in a position where she needs to run as much or be strained. She's been cleared to play, but I'm sure she's just taking time in getting through her gears. 16 overs down, 47 for 3. All right, Vanessa Adiambo on strike. Another opportunity for her to give us a cameo. 4 overs remaining. Swings across the line, gets contact. There needs to be somebody just to go and give Zimbabwe a challenge. Right now it's towards the latter ends. Got nothing to lose. The game pretty much has run away from you. We'll not even mention the required run rate. 95 runs required in 3.5 overs. Just like that. But I have not enough to contact. Vivek departs in trying to add some little bit of impetus. If you're going to go hard swinging. Lindogo Tamapere picks up her first wicket. 4 for 1.
Mabero to Meta Eskaya. We call it back at home a 15-yard 6. She doesn't have enough muscles. She's trying to flex the small muscles. Vivek not good enough. 4th wicket falls. 48 for 4. After 16.2, Mabero with a fast wicket in her 3rd over. She's only gone for 4 runs. That's a parsimonious economy. But in Vanessa Oko Adiambo and the new batter in now, Lavenda Alvisa Idambo, 2 power hitters, like they are known in the region, East Africa. Can they force the issue now? Big swing, thinnest of edges on it to run down all the way. They won't get to the boundary, but the chase is on. The chase is good. And the power is cut off.
That's someone coming in, Lavender, and hoping to just get a few runs on the board or can get a few big hits in there. Practice your range hitting. Rather, 93 required of 3.3 overs, 50 only on the board. Awkward bounce, trying to navigate it.
50 comes up for Kenya, but they're 4 down and we're into the 17th. For me, this game is over as a contest. It's a mere procession to the victory lane for Zimbabwe.
Comes down the wicket. Everybody misses it, wicket keeper included. Modesta Mpachikwa prides herself in the way that she keeps. Apologizes for that mishap. Could have presented a stumping opportunity. Another swipe across the line. End of the 17th. 51 for 4.
It is Kelis Ndlovu. Lavenda Idambo had no clue whatsoever where that passed.
That was a beauty of a delivery from Kellis. Pitched up, just a slight hint of turn. Shots of LBW, but that one would have pitched outside the leg of, outside the line of leg stump.
That's the delivery for you again there.
Yep, well outside.
Well outside leg stump and still going further down, only stopped by the pad of Vanessa Adiambo Ooko. Back-to-back dot balls for Kelis Ndlovu, bowling her 3rd. She's only gone for 6 runs after bowling as many as 15 balls. This one will be guided all the way for 4 runs because she tried to bowl a quicker one that wasn't accurate. She pays the price.
Well, on this occasion, Vanessa just swiping that one across the line and was bowled fuller and quicker, like you did say. And short fine leg. A vain dive to stop that one.
Better lines from Kelly's. If she'd been bowled like that the previous ball, her figures will still be 1 for 6 after 2.5, but she spoils her own stats. Better chance for a catch. She almost swallowed that one. And there was also a run out at the other end with Lavender Idambo caught halfway the track. It is the end of the 18th over. The score is 56 for 4.
Kelly Slovo just showing us a brilliant piece of fielding. It was struck really hard back towards her. Remember, she was still in her action of bowling when it was struck straight back at her. But she made the effort to try and get down as quickly as possible. And they struck hard and got down. Whatever, not able to make it stick. It will sting for a bit for the next few hours or so, but it's all within the framework of the game. Lindogote from the zoo end.
Kenya must find a way to score these runs. Nobody loves a pity party. Nobody loves to feel sorry for them that, well, Zimbabwe is echelons of classes above them. They need to show that they have some stomach for a fight in them.
Skied in the air, but it'll fall safely. Marian Msonda will clean up. They'll think of a second. And she'll send one to the bowler's end. Swipes across the line. They take a quick single. Good throw by Sean. May gift them with some runs there. No one was backing up at the bowler's end. They'll get 2.
Shan Mayers was playing like this when she's not yet full to her true fitness. We're yet to see the best of her on her return. Chance for a run out. Mabero not able to pick it up at the first time of asking.
Well, Lindogote collected on that occasion. Could have effected a run out, but just an awkward bounce for her after that magnificent throw. She did well, and then there, not able to collect it on the go. Up in the air this time. Marianne will get under it, and she'll drop it. Oh my, she just ran past that one on that occasion. The skipper drops the head in disappointment.
She went for that one, swiping it from outside off stump to Mary Annie's zone. Big bucket hands, but she was way in. She didn't read that as to travel a little further. As we see, very good effort in the deep from Nomvelo Sibanda, who is fielding body and soul.
Well, Nomvelo, very highly animated. End of the 19th over. And it'll be 65 for 4. 75, rather. 65. 65. 78 runs required in the last over. If you get 6 sixes, you can strike almost half of those runs.
If wishes were horses, beggars would ride. It never happens in the realistic world we live in.
Take the chance, Lavender. Take the chance. Give us something to talk about. Behave. Dopo. 5 deliveries to go. Another upper swing, leading edge. Well, no, it will just be 1 run that they are awarded.
Got to feel for the Kenyan coach. They say Coaching is like the gospel. You've got to preach it every day, and I don't know what is new thing he will be telling her. His girls who are fighting here in the last over, there's a welcome boundary there to move them to 60. Well, not many teams have scored 60 plus against Zimbabwe. Kenya have it. Give them some flowers. Come on, Eli.
Well done. That was struck well. Nyasha Gwanzura not happy with herself in that fielding effort. It was struck well in the gap. She had done well to get there. But just on the last minute, that awkward bounce. Again. Kenya looking to try and get as much as they can in this last over. Just having impetus just a little bit too late for my liking. If they had shown such kind of character earlier on, I would have been much more pleased. Swing and a miss, and everybody misses that one. And we'll run across the field. Sean Myers will retrieve it. Those will be two runs conceded.
Last ball coming up from the arm of Kelly's Tanyaranzwa. Ndlovu. Full toss on offer. Hit straight down. They want the second. They will get the second. The running is good and it's full of conviction. Yes, she makes it. Umpire calls 1 run short. Looks like Vanessa didn't reach her crease.
All right. This marks the end of the Kenyan innings in that effort to chase down 143. They will be on 74 for the loss of 4 in their 20 allotted overs. Never seemed in contention to chase it down, scoring just around 2 runs and over early on in the innings. But just towards the latter ends where they picked up a slight bit. But Zimbabwe will win comfortably by 68 runs in this encounter. Handshakes all over. Zimbabwe will celebrate with a job well done. I'll be happy of the two camps. 142 for 5 was Zimbabwe's total that they had put up on the board after being asked to bat first. Let's have a look at the scorecard of this encounter. It's Kenya's woos. Melvin Kakoitz at the top. Gave a bit of resistance, 30 from 48. But apart from that, nothing else to write home about except for Vanessa Diambo, the only other player to get into double figures with 18. Esther Wachira 4, Venerika 4, Krishna 6, Lavender 7, a total of 74 for 4. And Zimbabwe winning comfortably by 68 runs. Zimbabwe's bowling card. Quite a number of bowlers used by Marianne Msonda. However, they just picked wickets apiece. Lindogo 1, Precious Marange 1, and then Kellis also picked up 1. Brilliant figures. The average of economy just around the 3 over a mark. And they picked up 4 wickets in those 74, giving away only 3 extras. This was able for Zimbabwe to win comfortably by 68 runs. Join us shortly for the post-match presentation.
All right, let's go kill it. Beautiful. Let's go kill it. Supposed to use one of these mics. Let me go with them just in case.
No, they need that as well.
Oh, yes.
So remove from there, from the mic from there.
From here.
Yeah.
of match day 3, game 11 of the women's cricket event at the ongoing African Games in Ghana. We've just witnessed Kenya take on Zimbabwe, with Kenya winning the toss and opting to bowl first, restricting Zimbabwe to 142 runs for the loss of 5 wickets in 20 overs. And the chase, Kenya fell short, scoring 74 for 4 in 20 overs. Zimbabwe win by 68 runs. Allow me to invite the captain of the Kenyan side, Esther Wachira. Hi, Esther. Hard luck, but you just faced a top side Zimbabwe. What are the lessons you take from this game?
Zimbabwe being a test nation, for us being an associate nation, it's quite a challenge for us because we are facing a much higher ranked team, and that's take us to whatever we are learning from them, we go back and try to execute it.
Right. What exactly do you go back to do, back at the drawing board? What should we be expecting?
Correct our strategy as a team, and try to improve on our bowling and fielding part, and especially on our batting side.
All right, thank you so much. All the best. Allow me to invite Mary Masunda, captain of the Zimbabwe team. Congratulations, Mary.
Thank you.
Yeah, you topped the group. Great one. What are your expectations? You're going to be playing Nigeria tomorrow. What do we look forward to?
We're just going to take the game as it comes. I think we have done that from game 1. We don't disrespect our opposition. We take it seriously. They're here for a reason. They're good enough. We've witnessed them play some good cricket. So we're just going to go with our processes, really.
Good cricket from you so far. What exactly have you done right?
We have tried to stick to our plan and be in the moment as much as we can and forget about the result and the win, so that we can think clearly. And we're always talking about breathing all the way, and I think it helps us calm down. So we have done well. They're breathing now.
All right, congratulations, Mary. Thank you so much. Now to the Player of the Match award. Allow me to invite Zimbabwe Deputy Minister of Sports, Recreation, Arts and Culture, Honorable Emily Jesiah. For the Player of the Match, is one big hitter from Zimbabwe with 40 runs, all 40 balls, Modesta.
Too fresh. What do they say? You're crazy. They think I'm too fresh. Yeah, you are. You are too fresh.
Congratulations, Modesta. Great effort for your team.
Thank you so much. I would like to say thank you to my teammates for the support, and I think we did very well on our batting.
All right, thank you so much. All the best. And that's it for the post-match presentations. But of course, this is let you know that the semi-finals game begins tomorrow. It is Zimbabwe taking on Nigeria. And at the other end, we have Uganda playing against Rwanda. But at this point, it's very possible that South Africa will face Uganda. Just stick around tomorrow and call me in for the games early in the morning and the afternoon. It's Ijoma Okibo signing out.